They call me the Fight Doctor, and I thank you guys for watching, because you're watching Master Boxing, and this is where we break the fight world down round by round. Here we go. The first thing that you guys do not understand about Floyd Mayweather and his fighting style is Floyd Mayweather is a pugilist of taking things away from you that you do best, not focusing on your weaknesses, but taking your strengths away. So therefore, when you're at a fight and you're watching it live and you're pumped and you're thinking you're about to get a Tyson bout, and you can't quite figure out what you just watched until you go and replay it and see the brilliance of this individual. It's only because you're void of the intelligence that it takes to understand what you're watching from a pugilist fighter, a pure boxer, someone who understands how to strip you of your coin without you realizing. Manny Pacquiao was stripped of his offense last night, throwing a mere 19% connect ratio, which is definitely the lowest in his career. Not that he was a consistent, accurate puncher, but Floyd Mayweather stripped him of the things that he liked to do most, which are throwing punches and bunches. He only got a chance several times to do that in the entire night of that fight. You can go out to our website, www.masterboxingllc.com, and you can see clips and highlights, photos of what it looked like night and round after round after round with that fight. Manny Pacquiao, you have to take your hat off to him, because most fighters would not have even showed up that much, because Floyd Mayweather was on point last night. And to the naked eye, it just looked like a regular performance of Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd stayed sharp from the first round. He won the first 2 or 3 to the 12th round. And people need to understand what it takes to fight like that and put that out. The kind of energy that it takes to be sharp and keep your opponent off all night. Mayweather was in there pushing a 18-wheeler because Manny Pacquiao never stops coming. So it's just like you have to throw punches. Even when you're not throwing punches, it's a chess match, people. And one thing you're going to learn by watching Master Boxing is that I'm going to teach you and show you, and even post workouts that you can do at home that will help you feel what a guy like that is feeling in the moments like that. So you can appreciate watching a pugilist fighter. Like I said before, this is not just a plug. I want to elevate the sport of boxing and the viewers who are watching. So you go out there to www.masterboxingllc.com and you check out the vicinity. It's a mall full of things that's going to up and enhance your boxing cachet. And it'll make the fight game better for you, because anyone that's around me, I make sure that you understand what you're talking about. And if you have questions, leave them in the comments, because I'm not just here popping off. A lot of people like to talk boxing. I like to educate. And I got a lot of experience, and what I want you guys to understand is this is a duty of mine. So if you watch my posts or not, regardless, I'm going to keep pushing it because it's my job. I write books, I educate, I teach. My thing is to embrace the boxing world and elevate it to another level, so the people in the mainstream world see us as something more of an entity opposed to just like a hobby or something that's barbaric, because boxing is the science of physiology and neurology. And that's where it starts to become so yummy. And Floyd Mayweather last night, I can't say enough about what he did in his performance and what he was able to do last night, because the guy from the first round, he was sharp. He came out with the jab. And then he consistently started to sink that right hand into Pacquiao's chin. I mean, the pugilism, the sharpshooting in a fight of that magnitude with that type of crowd and that audience watching, not just those 15.5 that were inside of the arena, but the 3 million plus that paid for their fight. And some places had 400 to 500. to 5 to 6,000, depends on the size of the venue that the closed circuit was releasing. That is a lot of people. So you're probably talking about upward of 15 to 20 million people when it's said and done, because theaters and places of that nature hosted this, and you're talking 300 people in a theater, and that's across the entire land. Mexico got the fight for free. You're talking about an entire country. So to perform under the lights with something of this magnitude, fighting for the era, prepping itself like never before, the pugilist that he is, and how maniacal is he about the way he's so maniacal about the way he trains and elevates his game to another level consistently, even after having this 6-fight deal on fight number 5. Look at the resume. Think about who he's already fought. Marcos Maidana is one of the hardest hitters in the welterweight division, if not the hardest hitter and most awkward fighter. Then he fought another most awkward fighter from a southpaw stance in Manny Pacquiao. I broke the fight down, matched him up, and if you go to my post, Mayweather versus Pacquiao, the best versus the best, all you will see is exactly what you saw last night. I said Floyd will do this, Pacquiao will do this, and I didn't just say it, I demonstrated it. And it looks exactly like what you saw last night. So take your time today, go through my playlist and check it out. It's an amazing video, and it gives you high insight on what the fight was going to look like way before the fight even happened. The minute I actually did this before they announced it. I knew it was on the horizon, so I went ahead and dropped the tape. And it looks amazing. And take your time, digest and process, and listen to what I'm saying, because I broke it down round by round. I didn't just do one simple, this is what he's going to do, this is what he needs to do to counteract. I broke it down round by round. So it's about maybe 6 rounds of education on the southpaw, the rolling shoulder, the defensive prowess. All you have to do is just go down to the playlist and you can find it. It's an amazing piece. Alright, so like I said, then Mayweather was doing stuff with turning Pacquiao all night. His defense, his leg work, the strength that it takes to turn a guy who's coming at you and you're on the ropes. He laid on the ropes. He gave him the 90-degree angle. He slid off, spin, hooked off. I mean, he used everything. I mean, hooking off the ropes is a thing that the Cuban fighters learned, and they were defeating the guys from the USA in the Olympics with that. And it's a defensive move and an offensive move at the same time. So you can get a hook, score, and get out of the way of harm's way in the same breath. Boom, spin. It takes great coordination to execute this move. Believe you me, people. He makes it look so easy, it's hard for people to appreciate it. And I hate so bad that the mainstream fans don't understand what they truly watch. Some of those who spoke last night really spoke and showed what they don't know about boxing. Muhammad Ali never got his decoration until after the fact. And the fact of the matter is, he was doing it during that time. He was looking so great that people just couldn't appreciate the sweet science behind it. When Floyd Mayweather's retired, all you're going to hear 10 years later is, that guy couldn't have beat Floyd. That guy couldn't have beat Floyd. That's why Muhammad Ali is listed as the greatest, because they doubted him for so long. The fact that he retired, now they could appreciate him more. But what Floyd Mayweather's doing will never be done again. So you are witnessing history. And trust and believe, any of these young fighters thinking you can reach that level, you might not be able to reach that level. You're going to have to add other elements to it. You know what I'm saying? Because Floyd did the same thing. He wanted to be a businessman. He wanted to be a father. He wanted to make sure that he was the epitome of an athlete. So he's basically the best athlete on the planet, no matter, regardless of what sport you're comparing him to. He's just setting the bar so high all the way around, and we're not even going to speak on the $100 million check. I mean, who gets that? I mean, who does that? So, you know, I have to tilt my hat to the Mayweather family. I sent my blessings to Jeff Mayweather last night, prior to the fight, and let him know that my prayers was in. Let me rewind this. Any man that laces him up to prove and show and entertain people through the sport that I love and the sport that I birthed my career on, I have to send that prayer out for him, his family, and those who follow him in the Philippines. I don't just isolate, and I'm never biased when it comes to a fighter, because I love anyone who's willing to take the game to the ring and lace those gloves up and put their lives on the line. And this is where the fight doctor understands the separation of, it's not a game, this is real life. These guys make the ultimate sacrifice, so appreciate them. When you see the fighters, when if you go out to the fights, show the love. Don't just be annoying. Don't sit back snapping selfies. Step to the fighters and show your appreciation. Say the words. That's what they like to hear. I know my fighters love to hear it. They love to embrace the fan base. There's very rarely you're going to see a fighter not want to embrace the fan base, even when they have thousands. It's just when those people who don't know how to approach them the wrong way. So after the fight last night, you got your Stephen A. Smiths, you got the Roy Jones Jr.'s, you got your Andre Wards, you got the Jim Lampley's, you got the Al Bernsteins, all of these reporters from ESPN. Some of them were a little bitter because they thought that this was supposed to be a knockdown drag out, but just don't let your feathers get ruffled. Just let them know it's just what you lack in education, so it's okay to be uninformed. Just take the time and inform them. The people that follow me in social media, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, know one thing about me. I create a group just to make sure there's a couple of thousand more people that understand the science of boxing and what it takes to actually execute this game. And it's no joke. And Floyd Mayweather, congratulations for being the best in the era. They call me the fight doctor. And I thank you guys for watching. And you're watching Master Boxing. And this is where we break the fight world down, baby. Round by round. Be sure to go out to that site. Check it out. It's an amazing spot. A lot of entertainment, a lot of education. Very cool. www.masterboxingllc.com. It just launched on May 2nd, the most important day of the sports world in 2015. Be going down in infamy as the greatest day in American sports.
What makes this event so special, so historic, is that we have two once-in-a-generation athletes who have been working all of their lives to get to this precise moment.
The fight of the century.
Both fighters will be remembered for what happens May the 2nd.
And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans around the world, live from Las Vegas, it's showtime! Manny Pacquiao! Floyd Mayweather!
Our goal is to give the fans enjoyment and entertain you guys.
And you guys came out here to see a great event. I feel good, I feel strong. It's time to fight now.
Judge at ringside, Dave Moretti scores about 118 to 110. Judges Bert Clements and Glenn Feldman both scored about the same, 116 to 112. All three in favor of the winner by unanimous decision. He is now the unified WBC, WBA, and WBO welterweight champion of the world, and still undefeated, Floyd
Unofficial scores weren't that far off. Judge Moretti 118-110, Clements 116-112, Feldman also 116-112 for the man.